Michigan State falls on the road 38-27 in a game where special teams was a reason for the loss, but not the only reason for the loss. Disappointing game overall. I know that you have quite a bit to say, Liam, about this game, so I'll just let you get going. What are your thoughts on the game? Coaching, special teams. It just truly seemed like this team wasn't prepared.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I mean, you break the game, you break the kickoff, opening kick, you take the ball. We took the ball in the first quarter. You get a good run, 4-yard run by Mekhi Frazier. You set up 2nd and 6. You got your third string running back split out wide, which I would complain about, but I mean, it got him wide open, a little hitch route. Wasn't Child's best throw. ETT probably could have caught it. Didn't happen. 3rd and 6. Take a sack. Get a penalty on the punt. All of us, before you're even off the plane, Nebraska has the ball across midfield.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, you let them go score an easy touchdown, and we'll give the defense enough credit down the stretch. But the first drive, it looked like it was gonna be, oh my God, we're not gonna stop them again all day. They score super easily. So what do? We get the ball back, and we're forced to punt again. We get another penalty, and then we try to punt again, and it barely even hits Eckley's foot. And it's touchdown. It's 14-0 halfway into the first quarter. And it looked like, I will give him credit, because it looked like it was, like, I thought the game was over.
Yeah.
Right then, right there. And you just, it's funny because leading up to the game, we're talking to No Block, No Rock. We're talking to them about how if we can get some pressure, and their O-line sucks or struggles, and if we can get some pressure, Michigan State will have a chance to win the game. They got what, 5 total sacks by the end,
Yeah. Yep.
and it was like everything you thought we were gonna need to do to win the game, we did, and we still lost because, like you said, because of special teams, and then the offense was not doing what it was supposed to do. Number 2 did not have his best game, obviously, at all. He was probably concussed. Yeah, it's just disappointing. I mean, that's really the only way to sum it up.
Yeah. No, I think you're right with the summary of what happened was just not good. Like coming off the plane, playing the game, obviously going down 14-0 in an away game in atmosphere like Nebraska, it's usually not going to end very well. And like you said, I do give credit to this team for fighting back. I think that's one thing that we've seen from this team so far, even though they've fallen short in these last 2 games, they're willing to kind of fight back to give themselves a chance. And I think we can talk a lot about this team not playing a full 4 quarters, but we've also talked about going into this game how Jonathan Smith had his best performance last year coming off of a bye. And I truly think that was a lot of the belief that we had going into this game was that what Nebraska had as a weakness, Michigan State, you can also say had a weakness as well, but you saw MSU exploit that a little bit. Now, could they have done a little bit better? Yeah, but could have also started a ton better? Absolutely. And I feel like that's the biggest disappointing thing is that coaching truly let MSU down in this game. And I think while there's a lot of discourse about the future of Jonathan Smith, this is definitely not going to help it. I don't think we're at that point of having that conversation right now because I truly don't think it's truly worth it. We can talk long term, all that kind of stuff. But like when it comes to X's and O's, it truly starts with special teams and when you have your punter get absolutely blasted on a punt after a penalty that you do not see very often, and you go down 14-0 like that, that's unacceptable, in my opinion. Now, like I said, give them credit for fighting back. we were lucky to be down 14-7. I think the defense absolutely deserves credit for that. I feel like that's not something being talked enough about. But also, the defense in the fourth quarter wasn't very good at all. Like, this was just kind of the game. I don't want to say the nightmare game MSU could have, but it almost ended up being the nightmare game that MSU was going to
Yeah, no,
have.
I actually think that's kind of fair. I mean, it was a nightmare because of like what we said. You did the things you thought you were going to need to do to be able to win, and areas that hadn't let you down in the past just killed you on Saturday, and that's why. I mean, yeah, it is. That was the nightmare game. You had you get down 14 zip, like you say, right off the bat. Feels like the game's over right off the bat. You you get a touchdown, you get another touchdown. All of a sudden, you score again. Child's second rushing touchdown. You're up 7. You're up 21-14 after Child's two first half interceptions. After, like you said, the blocked punt, the other just terrible punt coverage, just letting
Yeah,
up big returns. You're you find a way to take the lead, and then you find a way to let them score 24 unanswered. And I think yeah, it's in no way are either of us saying Jonathan Smith's done, get him out of town. That's not realistic, but it I am just going to be hesitant to blindly throw praise at him until he shows us, gives us a reason to do it. Like yesterday would have been a reason to praise him if they had found a way to win that game. That would be he kept them together, kept them battling, kept them fighting, found a way to win even with the block punt. And it seems so like just like, oh, you're just expecting them to win every game. No, that's not what I'm saying. But when you're up 21-14, all of a sudden, yeah, now I do expect you to win the game,
yeah.
especially with how bad you played. Childs clearly didn't have it, and you still found a way to take the lead. It was like it was right there.
Absolutely, and I feel like we do have to give a little bit of credit to Nebraska in this game. We talked about the No Black, No Rack podcast, that secondary. I truly think for the first time this year, you saw Aiden Childs frazzled a little bit, like pushing stuff that he hasn't been. I do think a lot of that has to do with the pressure Nebraska had. Do I necessarily think it had to do with the wind? I think the wind did play a little bit of a factor in it. Do I want to say MSU lost this because of the wind? Absolutely not. There's so many more factors in this game than just the wind. But like, I think you do have to give Nebraska credit for it. Now, I do think MSU did hurt themselves quite a bit, the black punt, but also that kick return after Nebraska tied it 21-21. Like, that is just so simple
Oh my god, dude!
communication. And I
I'm
did
not gonna
this.
lie. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of forgotten about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also was listening to
Holy!
No Rock, No Black podcast earlier, and they think it's maybe like a design that happened. I don't necessarily know. I would be interested to
Oh
see
yeah, it
kind of.
is. Oh, for sure. No, no. For having my background the last 2 years, that is something they're working on for sure. You're who ended up who was it kicked right at? Was it Coyne or Edwards? I know they or was it
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 was
was Edwards and who was it
it
Coyne or
was
am I tripping?
it was Edwards and Coyne were the two
Yeah,
that were
okay.
kind of fighting over it.
So just again, just having my background, I guarantee you, all week or maybe all week or the 2 weeks since Nebraska had to buy two, they're in practice game planning to kick it to one of those specific upbacks, and you want to get it like you want to make them think about the play like they did. They probably executed that perfectly. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'd agree with those guys at No Block No Rock that was intentional for sure.
Yeah.
And
No,
it
absolutely.
they're doing that because they don't want to give up a kick return, and they weren't expecting to get the ball out of it. They're just trying to halt any explosive play for MSU, and they got the ball. Just hmm.
And it was right after MSU went up by 7. Now, obviously, Nebraska did score pretty quickly right after that. So, like, you can get momentum. Like, there's still an opportunity there to go up, like, put up points, like, to kind of just throw a right hook right back at them, saying, hey, you know what? We're not going to back down. And I don't know if I want to say this team completely backed down, but after that point, Nebraska had all the momentum. The defense did
Oh yeah.
held them to a field goal, so obviously that was a decent stat for exactly what happened. But like, there's just so much in this game that truly comes down to special teams, and I hate that we're having this conversation because I felt like if we were together last year or 2 years ago, 3 years ago under Mel Tucker, Ross Ellis, we would be having the same conversation over and over and over of how bad this special teams unit is. We even talked about the special teams. We even talked about how good they've been this year. Ryan Eckley's been
Yeah.
protected very well. How the kick
Yeah.
return hasn't been elite, but like it's been good enough where you can truly make a difference. And yeah, it's just really a disappointing thing. And one thing that I do want to talk to you about and kind of get your opinion on, I honestly think it's a really good thing that this happened. But towards the end of the game, you could tell that Aiden Childs and Nick Marsh had some words being said to each other. You could tell that they weren't listening to each other. They were having it with each other. What are your thoughts on that? I know there's some takeaways of people like, okay, that's a good thing. You can see their passion. You can see that they're tired of this. You can see that they don't want to lose anymore. There could also be the other side of it where people could say, well, that's not a good thing. You have your star wide receiver, you have your star quarterback fighting over this at the end of the game when neither of them performed well. Aiden Childs did not perform well. Nick Marsh wasn't involved very much at all in this offense. Like, when you see that, does that give you, like, hope, or does it give you, like, can this turn into something?
Nah, I don't think it'll turn into anything necessarily. I, but I'm also not going to be one of those guys who's like, oh, that's a good thing. Like I think it's somewhere in the middle. Like I don't think it's a problem at all. Like they are, they're being competitive, but at the same time, you, it's not the best look. But like I said, I'm pretty neutral on that. I think it's good to see that Marsh cares. Dude, honestly, I mean, Nick Marsh has not, like, he probably thought he was going to have a way bigger year than this, especially after Boston College. Like,
Yeah,
this is now his second week in game in a row with 41 or less receiving yards. Like, and I know he had 4 catches, and it's easier said than done, right? To get your best player the ball when every defense is going to focus on it. But I'm telling you, Childs played horrible
yeah,
when throwing the ball. He played terribly. So he's probably just, his emotions are running over. He's pissed at himself. He's pissed that he got hurt. He's probably pissed at the O line. How could you blame him? And Marsh is pissed he's not getting the ball because he's a wide receiver. I mean, that's just how wide receivers work. He's pissed he's not getting the ball. He's pissed we're losing. I think it's just a lot of that. I don't think there's too much to look into on that.
yeah.
But again, I'm not going to be one of those guys like, oh, that's great. Like, I think it's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, and I know at the press conference after the game, Jonathan Smith talked about Nick Marsh not being fully healthy. It sounds like I don't know exactly the full, like, who has a flu, anything whatsoever. Like, those shouldn't be excuses, like, at
No.
all. Like, that's something you can say, but that's not going to be the difference between winning and losing a game. It shouldn't truly be. But the difference between winning and losing a game truly comes down to, like we talked about, special team and then offensive lineman play. And I feel like that's something that needs to be talked a little bit more about, especially when it
Oh,
comes
yeah.
to the tackle position, left tackle specifically. I just feel like Aiden continues to have to run for his life. And that's probably going to be something that's going to have to happen for MSU for him the rest of the year. I don't know 100% if he's going to be healthy after this game. You could really truly see at the end of the game, he couldn't really run too much, which is obviously a concern. Like, it's almost to the point of, like, stop this offensive line rotation. I absolutely hate it. Now, obviously, with the injuries MSU has had, like, you might have to play some guys that shouldn't probably be playing. I'm not going to name names, but, like, play your young guys. I thought Rustin Young, when he's played, he's looked good for a young guy. He's going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. But this offensive line just cannot protect Aiden Childs at all right now, and this was just another game of that.
Yeah, and I mean, you didn't even cover this. You want to talk about Aiden Childs running for his life? I'm sure it was fun to be Mekhi Frazier and Brandon Tullis yesterday. I mean, they had nowhere to run.
Yeah,
It was the O line played horrible. It was like you said, it was kind of a nightmare game because think like the run game had been pretty good. Even at USC, the O line probably still wasn't great because Frazier made a couple of good cutback runs, but it was still like there more. Frazier made some good cutbacks in the first half. But after that, I mean, those toss plays, except for the 4th down and 1 that we picked up, those toss plays had no chance.
no.
Like it was so you're running on 1st down, then you're 2nd and 12. So then they know you're more likely to throw it, which screws our O line even screws over Aiden even more. I'm saying because the O line that's already struggling like hell now knows that Nebraska is just gonna gear up and send heat at them, and even when they weren't blitzing, they're getting home. So yeah, it's just a lot of size and exhale. This was not ideal.
And even the stretch plays that they ran
No,
wasn't working. Nothing was working for the
they didn't
most
have
part.
anything. I mean, Tullis carried the ball 5 times for 4 yards.
Like, we're talking about it, and like Aiden Childs had the second most leading rusher. It was Mekhi Frazier had 67 yards gain, net 58. But like Aiden Childs, when your quarterback is your second leading rusher on a
When your
team,
quarterback is your second leading rusher,
it's
especially
not good.
when he takes how many sacks did he take? Freaking
Too
4.
many,
When you take
at
4
least.
sacks and a couple of them were big sacks, and those come out of your rushing yards in college. So, I mean, yeah, the fact that he got those yards back was the second leading rusher. I mean, clearly Mekhi Frazier's really the only running back that
That
I don't
team
know.
has.
Yeah, I don't know.
Truly. Like, honestly, like, if we want to have the conversation we had it going into this game, Mekhi Frazier is by far this team's best running back. I don't think it's truly a question at this point. Brandon Tullis had 5 carries. You don't have Elijah Talver's basically at the back that is going to come in on 3rd down. You know exactly what's going to happen. MSU's going to throw the ball when he's in. He barely ever runs the ball. Like, sometimes they might give him a chance. But yeah, like Aiden Childs using his legs in this game, I truly thought he was pretty special, to be completely honest with you. There was times where like legitimately Aiden Childs continues to carry this team on his back. And while I do think he did struggle in this game, I don't think this was by far even close to his best performance. 2 of the interceptions were bad interceptions. One was a bad miss, the other one, both were bad misses, to
They were
be
both
completely
bad, yeah.
honest with you.
They were both terrible, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think at least his first one, I believe, was a little bit more of like him like hurrying. I think both of them was a little bit more of him hurrying. I think he kind of started to settle down a little bit when he started using his legs a little bit more, but he truly struggled to throw the ball. You even had Dylan Raiola struggle throwing the ball, at least more than typically what he has. If you want to talk about a quarterback that could sling in this game, Alessio Milivojevic looked fantastic in this game. And I don't think we need to have this conversation because Aiden Childs is going to be the starting quarterback. He's just going to be. I wouldn't want Alessio to be the starting quarterback on this team with this offensive line as of right now. But it was kind of nice seeing Alessio throw it a little bit, especially after his first throw this year was a pick six.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, he did well, honestly, on the one drive that actually mattered. Now the I wonder how much they're playing defense on that last drive. But when he needed to come in, and I mean, it was one of those scenarios too where like I knew, obviously I didn't know, but I figured that he was only going to need to score us that touchdown because Childs was going to come back in
Yeah,
the next drive. Now, in Childs' defense, or maybe this is copium and I'm just hoping this, I don't know if he should have been in that football game because he was already off. He was already off, especially with the deep ball before he came out. But once he came back in is when he started playing worse. And who knows? I mean, I don't know. There's just a lot. A Millie did look good. Yeah, the deep ball was bad from the get go, which sucked. I mean, we I was disappointed that we couldn't find a way to get Omari Kelly involved at all. Like that's a
Yeah,
guy, that's a dude who's good with the ball in his hands, and you only managed to get him the ball one time. Like I don't know.
and the one issue I had in this game, and kind of an issue that we saw a little bit last year, especially when it comes offensively, is that I thought Brian Lindgren was okay. I didn't think he was awful. I didn't think he was good. But the one thing that bugs me so much about this team, and we saw in this game, we haven't truly seen it in the other games, but it truly kind of seemed like it went back to MSU's offense last year, is when we had like 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and you just see Aiden Childs just take a deep shot. And like the amount of times that they've converted on those this year, like he's had some throws to Amari Kelly that's converted, it's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. Can we just get some sort of like slant or dig route or some sort of middle in route? Like, we don't need to be throwing the ball 40, 50 yards down the field. Like, if you want to take that shot, like 2nd and 3, go ahead. But like, just pick up the first down at this point.
Yeah, you make a good point there, honestly, because the short passing game, it's really never. I mean, the third and fourth and shorts yesterday that we did pick up. I mean, we went what 2 of 14 on third down.
Yeah.
So it was more the fourth and shorts. I mean, Childs is just pulling it down, taking it himself, and yeah, that's fun, and it's exciting as hell to watch, and you trust him because he's good at it now. He's a great runner, but it's a little concerning that like it seems like we can't scheme anyone open on a like you said 3rd and 4, 4th and 4, 4th and 6. Like we picked up a 4th and 6 running. Like take it, but it is that's a good point. That's a reason for concern that I hadn't really thought about.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely something to keep an eye on for. Yeah. Just disappointing game, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
And you're 3-2. Uh, I don't know, like, if you're MSU, like you talked about before we joined, before we started recording, like you've done the bare minimum of what you've needed to do. This is where MSU fans probably truly thought they would be. Obviously, there's frustration. You have UCLA next week. UCLA just beat Penn State. They have them, in my opinion, the interim head coach bump. We'll probably preview that game here in the next couple of days, but now it's about getting the little things right. Now it's about winning games that you shouldn't win or should be the 50-50 games. And it truly starts with against UCLA, and it truly starts with throwing this kind of in the trash and just burning it at this point. Like, this is going to be a frustrating game for MSU fans for a long time, in my opinion. You had a chance in this game if you just did the little things right. You didn't, and now there are going to be these conversations that we're going to have to have for the next few weeks until Jonathan Smith does something. And unfortunately, it was the nightmare game that no one wanted, but we got.
Yeah. I just opened up DraftKings. I'm looking and the line's out and we're 8.5 point favorites. So again, you win here and cool. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. So it's kind of like another one of those. And oh, I meant to say this. Recording. I've been talking about it off recording. By the way, I guess it was nice in the moment that we didn't know that Boston College was an absolutely horrible football team
Yeah,
because that win will be fun to remember, but we might look down the line and see, oh, that was a 2-10 team that we beat in double overtime at home. So
yeah. It was fun when
yeah,
it
it's
happened.
that's what I'm saying. It was a great night. That was a great game, but man, it's just like yeah, it's like you said, the bare minimum has been done, so you can't get too mad it's not like the floor is falling out from the program, but it's not like there's anything unexpected. I mean, Smith's now he's only has 2 wins as underdogs, and that was last year at Maryland, his second ever game, which gave us a ton of false hope for last year. And then at home against Iowa last year. So I mean, you grabbed 2 wins as an underdog last year. It'll be interesting to see if you can get a couple this year because yesterday was one you could have got and
Yeah.
you let it slip away. So
Yeah, but congrats to Nebraska. They made the plays. They're the one, even though MSU, in my opinion, hurt itself quite a
oh
bit.
yeah, no,
They
Nebraska.
they they made the play. They deserve credit. They took advantage of momentum. They made the plays when they had to. Shout out to their special teams coach. Defense made plays.
Yeah.
So even
It's
though
a
disappointing,
to be fair, it probably was pretty easy to draw up a screen pass and score because there's no one in a white jersey on that entire half of the field. But yeah, they did what they needed to do. It's like that meet. Someone was just talking about it. Or it was the football player, who someone just said this, like, yeah, well, they go and shoot themselves in the foot, and we go shoot ourselves in the head. Like that's exactly what yesterday was. Like they weren't even really shooting themselves in the foot. That I mean, they kind of were. Like that snap, that
yeah,
third sack in a row when the snap got away from Rayola, gave him no chance. Like they were shooting themselves in the foot, and MSU was walking out with the biggest gun you've ever seen and shooting themselves right in the heart. Like it was horrible. It was, but yeah, credit to UCLA. Credit to Nebraska. They're 4-1 now. Their fans are probably pumped. So
yeah. No, but
it's
now it's about preparing for UCLA. We get to talk about UCLA, and you talk about there's no floor falling apart for MSU.
you lose
We,
Saturday, it's over.
I was just going to say, definitely tune into that episode. It'll be much more negative, even though I felt like we were pretty, pretty negative, rightfully so, after this one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it's our fault to be negative today.
No,
That was just like we said 100 times. That was like such a winnable game, and when you have this program that's been stagnant, I guess. I mean, they've got a little momentum, but stagnant since 2021. It's like that's one of those games that you win that, and you're like, okay, that's momentum. Like that goes into UCLA, then you're 5-1. It's just like today sucks because yesterday was really, really doable. And
yeah,
again, like it's like what we were talking about. It would have changed the whole outlook on the season if you could be either USC or Nebraska. You go from 3-2, looking at the schedule, like hoping for 6 wins, or 4-1. And you're like, shit, we beat UCLA. We never know what's going to happen when Michigan comes to town. They don't look great. It would have been. So it's just disappointing. But
yeah.
like you said, nothing more they can do. Players, coaches got to put it behind them. Hopefully get right against UCLA and then go from there.
Yeah, throw it in the trash, burn it, just forget about it. Try to respond next week because we're kind of back to the point of like, if you want to even consider a bowl game, must win. You cannot lose to this UCLA team. But
Oh, no, I think the noise about Smith that right now I will go on record and say I don't think it's rational yet. I think it could start to become a lot more rational if we lose next week for sure.
yeah, yeah, but we'll preview next week. Game in the next couple of days. But yeah, no, really appreciate you joining, Liam. Do you have
Yep.
any last things to say
Nope.
before we wrap up? So
Nope.
yeah, yeah, disappointing game. Late second cover, like exactly what happened last week against USC.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Facts.
so betting people, if there are
Start
probably
taking.
some people that are very upset about that, but I think MSU fans are a little bit more upset about exactly what happened. But yeah, no, congrats to Nebraska on the win. Made the plays when they needed to. MSU did not. You end up losing special teams, coaching, multiple reasons why. But yeah, that is a wrap to this episode. We'll preview UCLA coming up here shortly. And if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff. Would love to continue to have the subscriber count go up. It would mean a lot to Liam and I. But yeah, thank you for tuning into this episode, and we'll see what happens with MSU next week.